Hey, it's Morgan from the CheekyHomemaker.com, and today we're talking about car toy organization. Alright guys, so I've done a couple of videos on the best car toys for babies and the best car toys for preschoolers, and I wanted to show you how we managed keeping all of those items in our car without it turning into a total dump. And let me preface this by saying that yes, it does still turn into a total dump repeatedly, but by having a place to put everything, it makes it quick work to just pick everything up, put it where it goes, and move on with the day instead of having to pull it all out and do a complete rehash. You'll want to make sure you stay tuned until the end of the video because I have two great hacks for traveling with kids, but basically the day-to-day. We're not talking, I mean, they'll work for road trips, but these are things you will use every single day to simplify your life. I took some close-up pictures for you guys so you don't have to deal with my shaky hand trying to videotape. As you can see on both of the seats, I do have a seat back organizer, and that serves two purposes. So first, it keeps my preschoolers' feet from marking up the whole back of my seat, and secondly, it does a lot of great storage. So I do recommend that you actually put out just the little bit of money it takes to buy a couple of really handy items like this to set everything up. Otherwise, you are, if you're trying to kind of DIY it with dollar store things, you end up with a bunch of pieces that when they get disassembled by your children, they end up being just as much of a mess as the toys that are in the car. So first, here we have my 1-year-old's area in the car. So this one here, it has a top portion that's blocked by the rear facing car seat. Of course, we will be utilizing that as soon as we turn her around when she turns 2. And also comment below, let me know, what age did you turn your child around at? And what do you think about the new guidelines? I don't know if it's just California or if it's countrywide. I should look into that. Let me know if you know the answer. But basically, just before my now 4.5-year-old turned 1 year old, they changed it to, instead of flipping the car seat at 1 year, you flip it at 2 years. And by the time she was about 18 months, she was miserable. Her little legs were too long for the car seat. It was kind of a mess. So I'm curious, how do you handle that? What are the requirements in your area? Please comment below and give me some info. So sorry, back on topic here. Anyhow, the bottom pocket is the main pocket that I use here. I put all of her little car toys in there, and then I can just reach back while I'm driving by feel and easily pull anything out that she might want to play with. And then I can just hand it back to her right in her car seat, and it keeps it from being a huge driving hazard. And then I do have a muslin blanket that I keep over in the side pocket, which is a great multi-purpose for either, an unexpectedly cold day or a cover for a sleeping baby in a stroller, that kind of thing. And then if you notice at the bottom, I do have a black diaper bag. That's not the diaper bag I carry in and out of the car. That is our emergency backup clothes. So my normal diaper bag does have backup clothes in it, but every once in a while, if I forget to replace something, or if my 4-year-old gets wet or dirty somehow, I have a change of clothes for both kids in there, a spare diaper, and a spare blanket. So next we have the preschooler area. My daughter's currently 4.5, and she has a lot more toys because she is older. I guess it comes with the territory. Anyway, her seat back organizer plays much of a more important role. As you can see, the top area, we have a small pocket that has all the flat items, so we keep books, lacing toys, her interstate highway bingo up there. Either side does have a smaller mesh pocket, so we keep a pair of sunglasses there for her. And the other side we keep pens. This organizer does have a pen holder down at the bottom, but I don't think it's very handy because once you fill the pocket, then it starts kind of falling open and it ends up hitting where her feet are. So it's handier for us to keep the pens up top where she can grab them easily, or I, at a red light, could even grab one if need be because she can't quite reach up to the organizer. Now the top pocket, as you can see, it's clear. It is meant to hold a tablet. We don't generally use it for that because it's not quite the right height with the car seat the way my car is set up. And also, if she has a tablet, she wants to be able to play games and touch it, and if it's in that pocket, it's more of a, we're going to put a movie on and just let it play. So it's not something we use, but you might find it handy for a long road trip or something of that nature. The bottom middle pocket does have a little Velcro tab that you can't really see in the picture. So once you fill it up, you can kind of put the tab down to keep it all contained, but we tend to leave it open for easy access. This is where we put larger items. Oftentimes we have our clipboard that we use to back up our thinner coloring books and activity books in there. If we have any larger books, they go down in there. And the bottom has 2 insulated cup holders. The one on the right has a plastic cup, which I'll show you right now. And again, all this information is in our Car Toy for Preschooler video that I'll link, but I keep colored pencils in a plastic cup. And then the other side has her longer, thinner items. So she has a fan and a kaleidoscope, things like that. So there's basically a home for everything in this portion. Now I'm about to show you the item area between the seats, and that's where we keep the random things that come in from the car that you know, we just really want to bring with us that day that need to make their way back in the home. I find by having an actual place for those, it's a lot easier to bring them back in the house. Nobody wonders where they are. So when I had my second child and installed the second car seat, the area between the car seats became a no man's land where things go to die because I could not see it. I could hardly reach it. So I got this organizer that I have that fits perfectly between my car seats, and it does actually buckle into the seat. So if you have to hit the brakes hard, this thing will not go sliding and fly all over the place. It stays really secure. The back portion I use to keep a couple folded blankets. I also do have a few other kid items at the bottom that I don't need to access very regularly, like some backup bags for our car potty, which I will be doing a potty training essentials video for you at some point. But anyway, I keep some spare bags for that in there. And then the front pocket tends to be items that are being used very regularly that my 4-year-old can reach easily for both kids because she can hand stuff to her sister. It is really great having a older child to help you out with the younger one. Anyhow, she sometimes will keep her clipboard with her coloring books in there, but more often than not, it's just the items that we have brought in from the house that are being played with very frequently right now. So there's also some small pockets in the front, and I'll reach back and show you. This is one of the hacks that I have for you. This is one that's still in the package, and I keep it here as a backup. So now, just in case you're curious, I figured I would also show you the back of the car. So the stroller does fit long ways instead of wide, and that was a requirement for me. I actually took the sample floor model stroller and I put it in my car at the store to make sure it fit this way. This is an amazing stroller. It is the City Select Luxe, and it has a second seat that you can put on, but also if you have a child like me where the kids have a little bit of a larger gap in age, you can swap out one of the seats for a bench. So we're about to do that. I'll link the whole thing below. You can just look at the pictures of all the different configurations. You can do the infant seat, you can do 2 seats, forward facing, rear facing, facing each other, and then you can swap out one of the seats for a bench. Both kids can recline and nap in this stroller at the same time, and that was something that I had a hard time finding. And also I like that it's not side by side because that makes it a little easier for in a store to get down the aisles. Anyway, that's another video that I should probably do for you guys for the stroller because I was looking for some videos on them when I was stroller shopping. I digress. The little purple basket on the right does contain a couple of the adapters that you need to put the second seat on that stroller, as well as my reusable shopping bags for the grocery store, and then odds and ends get thrown in there. And then on the left, you will see a large utility tote, and more on that in a minute, but that is one of my favorite things for traveling, but not just traveling, like day to day with kids. And then the kind of tealish, I guess is more blue than teal thing that you see laying all the way up by the seat is a waterproof blanket. Now, you'll notice that I do have a t-shirt covering my car seat. That's because my stroller leaves marks on the back of it, and with the rear facing car seat, my daughter puts footprints on the front of it. So honestly, I just haven't taken the time to research a proper car seat seat cover for that. So I grabbed one of my husband's old shirts. It's a little unsightly, but eventually I will be flipping her car seat around, so the requirements of, you know, what I need will change. All right, guys, so now the hacks that I promised you. I have 2 great ones. The first one is something that I was making my own, and it turns out they sell it. I thought I was going to get rich quick by making this for people, and then I found out, no, I wasn't the first to have this idea. It's a band to hold your child's head when they're sleeping in their car seat. So I used to use a scarf from the dollar store, and I would tie it around the car seat and then tuck it behind the upper portion, so when my daughter fell asleep, I could, you know, pull over and pull it over her head to keep the head bobbing thing, because, oh gosh, I just worry about their little necks. Now, I have to say, I do not know the safety of this. I encourage you to do your research. This is not sold by your car seat manufacturer, so you need to decide for yourself and find out for yourself if you think this is a safe item or not. But like I said, I was already doing a makeshift version of this, and I feel like this one works so much better. It has an elastic band and a nice padded thing that goes over the forehead, and it just keeps that head bobbing that happens really contained. So that is my first hack for you. My second hack is back to that large utility tote. So I used to forget things regularly, because now that I have 2 kids, my short-term memory is definitely shot. But also, I would make multiple trips to the car. I'd be like, oh, we need sweaters. And so I would go throw them in the car. And then, of course, I'd have somebody that was trying to follow me outside, or somebody that was mad that I left the house, in terms of the kids, I mean. And then I'd be like, oh, God, we need to remember the water bottles. So I'd put those by the door, and then I'd forget them when we left. And then I'd be like, oh, shoot, we need to remember the lunch bag. So I'd put my keys on top of the fridge as my way of remembering that I need to grab the lunch that I packed in the fridge. And then when it was time to leave, I would spend 5 minutes looking for my lost keys and asking my children if they had seen or moved them. It was ridiculous. So this large tote bag solves those problems beautifully. I take it and I set it on the bench of my kitchen table, and as the morning goes on, I put the things that I remember I need to bring. So I throw the water bottles in, throw the sweaters in, throw the insulated bag that the lunch is packed in there, instead of having weird piles and things that people are moving. You know, if there's anything that the night before I know I absolutely have to remember, I'll actually just throw it in the night before, and that frees my mind up to remember to get shoes and socks on everybody and dress everybody, and just it gives me the peace of mind to know that as I remember I need something, I throw it in that tote bag and I can forget it and I can move on. And then I just bring the whole thing into the car. It does fit over your shoulder. It's collapsible if you need to collapse it, but I find it easier to just leave it set up. It's a very lightweight tote itself. So I bring it in the car, and then once you're out for the day, if you're going and making a purchase, you can throw it in that tote, and then when you get home, you bring the whole tote in, and everything comes back in from the car, so it helps prevent your car from turning into a giant mess. I hope you guys enjoyed these tips of how to organize the toys in your car. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, share it with your friends, hit the subscribe button. You guys help me out and give me such a giant compliment by doing those things, and I truly appreciate it. You can also find me at thecheekyhomemaker.com, as well as on Pinterest, Facebook, and Instagram at thecheekyhomemaker. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Bye.